What's up, everybody? See if there's anybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me this time. I don't know if you were here last time when I totally jacked it up and started a live that wasn't attached, and then nobody could hear me, even though I was talking to myself. I'm a little worried that's happening again. But yeah, we'll see. I see 4 people watching, a couple people in the comments. Let me know if this is actually live or whether I screwed it up again. Yeah, it looks like you guys can see me. Okay. All right, we've got some action. We've got some action in the bullpen. Thanks for coming. We're going to start off with, well, first we'll just say hi to everybody's here. Big Oak, thanks for coming. Shallowfish, thanks for coming. HSF, Ron, So Fast, Chris, White Wolf, thanks guys for coming. Chris White Wolf. I'm not screwing up again. Am I screwing up again? No, I don't think I am. We'll see. Don't mess with me because I'll just stop it and start another one. But yeah, I'll switch over to the. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming. I'll switch over to SlotSync and I'll show you guys the updates I worked on today for the championship. So this is the new championship page. Takes a second to load because there's a lot of data in there now. But yeah, it changed the layout quite a bit. So right off the bat, it's going to show you this row is week, this row is month, this row is year. So it's going to show you basically how many points and what position you got for this particular race last week. I haven't done any for this week, so it's showing me 0. And then it's showing me next week is Formula 1. So that's the Formula 1 race next week. That's another sort of big announcement that's coming, is that we are going to switch how the championships work. We're finishing out this month, which is this week, the same format where we have lots of different classes all running at once for the 2 brands we're running. Next month, we're going to switch to 1 class per week. And so that way you have to focus on 1 class of cars per week. And that will make more sense as we expand out more and more brands for championships over the next couple of months. But yeah, so next week it will be for Carrera 132. It will be Formula 1. There'll be 1 regular event throughout the week. And then, yeah, comment Revo, but this is the wrong video to get that championship or that giveaway. I'm not giving anything away. I'm not that fancy. But starting next week, we will do 1 regular event and 1 endurance event per week per brand. So this is telling you right here that next week's class that we're racing is Formula 1. So starting Sunday, you'll be able to run the Formula 1 all week, and then Friday afternoon through end of the day Saturday, you'll get to do the endurance race of Formula 1, and then it'll rotate through all of the classes that we have been running, 1 per week throughout the month, just to clean up a little bit, give you a little more time to focus and not have to go a million different directions, because I know some of the guys were trying to do mag and no mag and both brands. So that's 4 different brands, technical brands that they're running, and then multiple classes per brand, per magnet or no magnet. And so it was like a ton of submissions that have to happen every single week. Very cool to start with, but it can get overwhelming pretty quick. And as we add more and more brands, that'll get crazier and crazier. And so we're tightening that up a little bit. It makes everything easier. It makes it easier on our end to manage it, but also makes it easier on your end to submit. So you notice too at the top, there's no more this week, because right now it defaults to the current week. And so instead of having to click over and click back and go back and forth, it's all right here. So it's showing you, like right now, John Tucci for the month, for the week is winning. He's got 3, 4, 4, 3 for a total of 14. That puts him in first place. We've got Stock Cards Anonymous, which I think is one of our newest members. I haven't seen him on the leaderboard. He's got Modern GT submitted and a Formula One submitted, so he's got 7 points for the week. And then Vince has got 4. He's got 1 entry. He's winning the Group 5. White Wolf has 2. He's got, I guess I would put him in 3rd place in Modern GT. And then we've got Raul, Cyberg, and Anders all submitted to. So that's how it'll work. Oh, that's a bummer, HSF. Well, not a bummer if you're getting a new track, a wood track. But, you can always keep it around. Just build a small track on the floor. That's what Joe always tells me about GRL, and I tell him to get lost. But that's another story for another day. But the other cool thing is on this page is right here on any of these. So if you want to know what the actual, numbers are for Modern GT, if you just click on that column header, it pulls you to that actual leaderboard. So then it's going to show you that John's winning with 58 seconds. If I had submitted one, I would be on there too, but you can't see it right now because I don't have one submitted yet. That's what we're going to work on tonight. Same deal with all the rest of them. So it's going to show you how much time you have left to submit, and then the 2, whoever has submitted will show up here. So that's a little bit easier and cleaner to get to. And then endurance obviously hasn't started, so then it gives you the countdown for when it does start. If you want to look back on like last week, if you just hit October, it'll show up a lot like it used to, where it shows the 4 weeks for the month and where the standings were. It also is giving the total. If the month were to end right now, that's where the rankings would be. And then it breaks down each week. And if, say, I wanted to look at how last week ended, you can click on that week 3, and it shows you all of the points that everybody submitted for week 3. And then again, you can click on this, and it'll show you exactly how that leaderboard was. So it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier. And then also, like we just did with October, you can also go all the way out to the season. That's not super helpful right now because we only had like a couple members participating in September, and then we really started getting going in October. But yeah, and then you can drill right back down and see the different groups and get all the way deep in the weeds and see where everything is. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, next week we're changing how, since we're only running 1 event per week, we're changing how the points work. So instead of having 4 for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for all points below third, so 4th and higher, 4th and lower on the podium, I guess, or on the leaderboard. We're going to do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 for everyone below that. So that means the top 5 positions will get points now. We put it as 4, 3, 2, 1 to start because there was only like 10 of us in there. But we're quickly going to, we're already gaining lots of members every day, which is great to see. But yeah, those points will go into effect next week. We're not going to change October just because we've already started it. Yeah, I was talking through all that and not seeing what you guys are saying. So let's catch up on that chat real quick. Yeah, Big Oak says it was madness. Yeah, he and I were the big advocates to narrow it down. G Money was on board too. Thinking about signing up. I saw that. 124 said, are those cards included? Yeah, so 124. Well, basically, so if the brand is supported by us already, so we have what, six brands in there. Well, 8 if you include the 2 different scales. 10 if you include the 2 different scales. Anyway, it's Carrera 132, Carrera 124. MR slot car, slot it, NSR, Scale Auto 132, and Scale Auto 124. I think that's all of them. I might have missed one. But basically, if there's a car that fits in those brands that's not in our database, we'll add it. We did our best to capture all of them, but we can't capture since the dawn of time. So hopefully that answers the question. Looks like Big Oak's already all over it anyway. The CFO said get rid of everything else. Yeah. Been there. Sock Car Dojo's here. Hey, I got your friend request on Discord, but I didn't get a message. I don't know if I missed something or not. But if you're trying to reach out to me, try again because I might have missed it. What if we were limited to how many classes we could run in a week to give a little parity in the classes? You might have to clear that question up. I don't quite understand that one. Hey Warren, nice to see you, man. Got you here. MB, thanks for coming. Dojo has a few questions about SlotSync. And thanks HSF. We've the four of us have spent a lot of time, almost a year now, that we've been sort of playing. I'd say probably 9 or 10 months that we've been playing with the idea and tweaking things and changing things and experimenting. And then we added just a handful of extra people to sort of get more data to make sure that the formulas were working. I don't know, when was that? MB was part of that group. That was like 3 months ago, maybe. We ran with that for we were still on a spreadsheet, just plugging numbers into a spreadsheet when we first started. And then the website went live like 2 months ago as we were testing it. And then now we've been adding people on. So it's been quite a process, but it's been really fun that everybody is excited and loving it as much as we do. We would have done it either way. We were already working on it either way, but then, we just kind of took it to the next level. So, sorry, there was one more. Questions about SlotSync, you can ask here, or you can shoot me a message, Dojo. No big deal. I mean, to be honest, Shallowfish, you're asking if you got to get a Formula One. If you wanted to get the points in all the categories every week, you would have to get a Formula One and run it every single week. The way the new format will work is you can get it and just submit a time during that week and get your 1 point for participating, and not have to worry about it too much. And so that should help you stay in the standings a little bit more, I think, in theory. We'll see how it works out. Labor Day, is that when we added more people? That sounds right. I think that's right, because I was up in Milwaukee when we were adding more people. But we've had different batches of people adding, and then the website went live. That sounds right. Labor Day. September, by the end of September, we started the first championship for that last week, and then and in October we've been full swing. In November we're making some tweaks. So Dojo says, I see there's leaderboards and you run on your own track. Are all the tracks different layouts? Yeah, everybody's got their own layout. It's whatever layout you have in your home. And the way it happens is when you sign up for it. And actually, let me switch over and I can just kind of show you what mine looks like. If I can find the right, there it is. In my profile, this changed a little bit too, but you guys will be able to find it. So I have these tracks, G Money, that's my brother, so that I can submit his track if I'm ever up there when I, on a weekend when I have to get some submissions in or something like that. But basically, if I go to edit, you can see kind of how it enters in. But it always starts you with the start finish, and then you plug your parts in. Realize I'm like hiding behind the comment. You plug your parts in, and our formula, the secret sauce, the magic, the black magic behind the curtain, is that it takes those parts, uses the difficulty of those parts that we've sort of not arbitrarily determined, but we've done a lot of research and try to get them as accurate as possible. And then it tells you at the end, it knows what your length is, it knows what your track sections are, and then I'm just going to hit cancel so it doesn't screw everything up. But then it spits out how long you race. So like on my track, I run 12 laps, and that's based on how long my lap is and then how difficult my lap is. And so I run my race at 12 laps, and I'll show you here in a second. But you run your race at 12 laps, you enter your total running time, your total driving time, and your last lap, and it basically gives you a time, and it puts it on the leaderboard for you that compares to everybody else based on what their lap length is and their difficulty is. So hopefully that makes sense. Can't see the list of what I have. Doing wheeling and dealing on here. I like it. White Wolf has to get a Formula One, NASCAR, and a Group 5. You got a lot of cars for not having any of those classes, man. Those are the 4 most popular ones. John Tucci's here, the man, the myth, the legend. He came in. He came in like a wrecking ball in the championship. He has given us a run for our money for sure. Good work, John. Love to see it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, cool. Doesn't look like there's any other questions in the chat, but yeah, it's basically it's a formula that we developed through. That's what we've been doing most of that year, is figuring out how to make tracks more and more, so you can compete without having to have the exact same layout and the exact same car. Because we love what, and it's kind of what it spurred from, is we love what they do with the GRL, but we know not everybody can do a GRL track. Not everybody can set up a second track or set up a track on the floor or whatever, to run that race on a monthly basis or weekly basis for how that runs. And so we wanted for the folks who do have larger tracks or different tracks to be able to do something similar. And it really started with like, I live in Missouri. Big Oak is in Kentucky, and Joe is in Joe's in Montreal or outside of Montreal, and then Gerard's up in Wisconsin. And so the 4 of us, we're kind of like, well, it'd be really cool. Like, we chat a lot. We're becoming good friends, but really cool if we could compete together, because it's pretty rare, if ever, we'll be able to be in the same place at the same time. And so the whole idea is that, that's how it started, is that we want to be able to compete and see how good we were compared to each other, because we can all talk a big game just like anybody, and, any boys being boys, we'll talk a big game, and, measure everything. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it started. Mike and Joe sort of brought it to me, and we're like, hey, we want to try this. And then, we ran with it and started on a spreadsheet with just actual formulas and a Google Forms that you submitted. I don't know why that camera keeps doing that. It's like every time I look away, it focuses on something else. There it goes. But yeah, and then it works. The one thing we're trying to decipher, and I haven't spent enough time digging deep into, but that's what the rest of this week is for, is the endurance races. We think there's some troubles with that formula. And sorry, MB, but yeah, we think that there's the gap between the fastest or the most kilometers driven and the least kilometers driven is like insurmountable to make up that difference. It's like 40 laps we got to do different. And it's just, even if the cars were at 100%, you could pin them the whole time. If you did the lap record for all 20 minutes and got all the laps, you still wouldn't be able to get to that number. And so we're trying to figure out, where in that formula is it a little wonky? Are we weighting the difficulty too much? Are we doing like, where's that? So now that we've got the championship all teed up and ready to go for next week, we'll start working on that endurance. So yeah. Group 5 cars, but they are the ones I gave the kids because I didn't like them. Yeah, I started with, well, actually, my first one was in my Beetle, and that's just because I wanted a Beetle. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't need any other Group 5s. This is just fun. It's just run it. And then I took my wife to the shop one day, and she's like, I want to pick out a car. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's pick out a car. That way you come and race more. Awesome. And she, like, the first one she gravitated towards was the M1 Pro car. And so then I was like, well, should probably have some more Group 5s to run with it. And then, then exploded from there. So now I've got that M1 Pro car, hers. I've got the Lancia. I got the BMW, whatever that one is. 2 BMWs, I guess 3 in Group 5. It was a popular manufacturer in the Group 5. I got the Capri. I got the 2 Beetles, and I got a Pantera. So that one kind of exploded, and then I got 2 of the 4 Formula Ones, just because I love watching Formula One. And then when the NASCARs came out, I was like, yeah, that's rad. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of how they drive, so but I'm still going to collect the 2 new ones, or 2 of the newest ones coming out. But yeah, I know, Mike, you're tired of hearing about my Beetle, but I mean, it just happened to be one of my best cars. But I drove one for a couple years, and the one I drove, 71 Super Beetle, was my mom's before me, and then for a brief stint, my uncle owned it, and before that, my mom owned it. So, like, when I was a freshman in high school, my mom picked me up from high school in that Beetle. So I have many memories in that thing. I learned how to drive a stick in it. I ruined the transmission in it. I did lots of things with that Beetle. And then when it was mine, when I owned it, I had to rebuild the motor, drop the whole thing out of the bottom, split the case, built it all back up, all in like a weekend, working in my father-in-law's garage. So I do love it. But yeah, y'all can go bug hunting. You can try. I think you guys are already getting better times than me in that. So it was good compared to all of your times, but yours are getting better, and it is getting staying where it is. I like that spirit, MB. You're like, doesn't matter. You'll still take it. I like it. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, what a hippie. Yeah, except for none of the actual hippie things, except I drove a Beetle. But yeah, that's another story for another day. You had a 72. Yeah, nice. VW Rabbit. Yeah, those are cool. My wife wants a bus real bad, but the ones that are reasonably priced are in terrible shape, and the ones that are in reasonable shape are insanely expensive around here. All right, I flapped my jaw enough. Let's do some racing. What do you guys say? I think we'll do, well, just because it'll tick Mike off, I'm going to run the Beetle. So let's switch over here, and we'll get this all set up. I don't know what I got in here right now. Oh yeah, my wife and I did a race night this weekend. See, I'm going to run here. There I am. Here. That's good to go. We'll run. I'm going to bang that camera over and over again. It's like good angle peep, or also right where you smash your head into. We'll switch over here. We'll just run a few laps. We're on free practice. Yeah, that way the speed gets set. Ooh, I think that can take some more speed tonight. Yeah, I can definitely get some more power tonight. That's what I'm talking about. As Joe would say, the conditions are just right. Nobody actually knows what that means, but let's bump that speed up a little bit. Let's go just one notch. We'll see what happens. See if I bin it right away. You see everything? Yeah, it's looking good. Am I missing anything? Cursing that Beetle right now. Oh yeah, that feels better. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, that was a good one. Oh, almost lost it. All right, she's good. We'll bring her around. Get her on the old tape. Clean. I'm gonna do my other little trick. I don't know if you guys use Simple Green in your house at all. That's this stuff. I just squirt a little bit on a rag. So just like a little wet spot. And then just put a little on the tires. Just a little on those tires. Softens them up just a little bit. Sometimes I put braid juice on the braids too. I call it braid juice. It's called Rail Zip, or I don't know. I think I showed it to you guys last time, but we're not gonna do that tonight. All right. So now we'll go over to. I'll switch this. So you guys know how to do this, but I know we've got some newbies. We've got 150 lap race in there. That's from some testing and running some races with my wife over the weekend. So my formula says 12 laps, so I'm putting 12 laps in the system, and we should be good to go. We'll switch the camera over. Now you guys can see. Yeah, I was going to do double-sided tape on the pits, but my pit is against the wall, so it's a little tricky to get to, so it's a pain in the butt to put it down. And if I have to redo it, I don't want to know what that would be like, and I don't want to be like Greg and climb up on my table. So Greg might see this tomorrow. I don't know if he's in there or not, but yeah, here we go. Let's let her rip. 12 laps. 3, 2, 1, go. She's smooth, but she's not feeling as fast as she can go. Oh! Did I catch it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Oh yeah, I got it. I'll let that run while I go and fix the car. But yeah, yep, that happens. And I could feel it getting looser and looser. And I did not adjust accordingly. I'll run it on that tape there. While you guys are watching that, I'm going to switch over to restart that race. And we'll end that replay playback. And yep, we're back live. Greg's here. I knew you were. I knew you were probably lurking. All right, let's try it again. Somebody was asking about this in the chat the other day. Yeah, it very often takes many, many submissions, and that's usually when I crash, is when I get like 4 or 5 good laps, and then I get a little too aggressive, and I bin it. 3. Let's try again. 2, 1, go. That was a good one. 5 laps left. That was a bad one. 4 left. 3 left. 2 left. Last lap. So we'll see how that does. Let me switch here so you guys can see. So the numbers we're looking for is that total drive time right in the middle there. So that's 1 minute, 0 seconds, and 0.181 fractions of a second. I don't know if that's milliseconds or fractional seconds, but and then we're looking for that last lap. So 4.994. So we will switch over to SlotSync. And we don't want this page. We want to go to championship. And you can do it from the leaderboard too. It'll anywhere where it says add new race result, it'll work for the regular events. If it qualifies for the event, it'll plug it in there. But we're going to do here, add new race result. I'm on Show Me Speedway. The car I'm running is my 132. I think it's in here as Red Beetle. And it was 101000181. And then let me double check that. Shouldn't be going by my memory. 04.994. 04994. It's not fast enough to qualify for leaderboard. That just means that it's not the fastest I've ever run this this car in the history of SlotSync. But it does say it qualifies for it, and it's my first entry for this particular event. I am looking at adding a feature on here that'll show you what your actual adjusted time is on here, so that you can just see right away. But that's low on my priority list. But so then we should be able to see. We got to refresh this. There I am. Panicked a little bit there. There's Group 5 and 58 seconds. So that got me. That's not a word. That got me first place for this week so far. Obviously, there's plenty of days left. 5 days, 2 hours, 41 minutes, 40 seconds to be exact. But yeah, that gets me on there. So I get 4 points. If we close this out, then you'll see that my total for this week is 4 points. If we go to October, you'll see I got 4 points there, which added to my 35, which then reflects on here. It's junk now. It's not hitting its number. So I gotta junk it and send it to the old Big Oak Savage Yard, where he claims he's only going to use them for parts, but I think I know better than that. Old school NASCAR does not work for NASCAR. It is modern NASCAR. There's a whole separate class for classic NASCAR. We're open for suggestions on that. I know Mike has been pushing me, and I think we'll probably do it. Hopefully for November is combine. We have modern GT and we have classic GT in sports. We're probably just going to combine those because they're close enough. It doesn't really make sense. And then, yeah, modern NASCAR and classic NASCAR. I don't know. I'm open for suggestions. If we get enough people that say, well, yeah, let's combine them, I'm fine with that. I don't have skin in the game because I don't have any classics and no plans to get them. But can you add your C6R to the Chevy list? There's not a C6 on the. Well, it depends on which one. Greg sent me a list of 124s that I missed. I'll probably be able to get to those and enter them tomorrow. So, and I think the C6R, if you're talking about Carrera 124, that was on Greg's list that I missed. So we'll be adding that. Yeah. Why does my autofill always go to? I can't help you there. It has nothing to do with me or our system. I can't tell you. Um, NASCAR finally broke in. It's moving. I'm worried that that's all I got to do is just run those dang things, but I don't like them, so I don't run them very often. The open cars. There's been a lot of debate. I've gone back and forth. I even told Mike earlier today that I was probably going to add a whole championship for the open cars, but I don't know. I don't know if we need it, man. Because to be completely honest, that's really what the leaderboard is for. And you can just click on it and see. Like those are all the open cars we've ever had submitted, ever. And so yeah, it's tough to justify a whole championship for those. If we get a whole lot more interest and a whole lot more entries in there, maybe. But that's 5 cars with 1 car each. 5 guys with 1 car each. And Slotgardu can't participate right now because he doesn't have the right. He doesn't have his smart race up and running right now on his track. So, yeah, if we get more that we can actually sustain it and get the traffic and get more entries on that class, I'm happy to entertain it. But for right now, I think we'll just stick with that leaderboard because right now you can tell real easily where you stand. It's when you switch to, if I do modified and box stock, turn off open. You're not even seeing what I'm looking at. Sorry. Um, let's do this. This is what I was referring to. So there's 5 cars that have ever been entered in the open class. Um, but if we switch to modified and box stock, for example, for Carrera 132, there are hundreds, which is why we have a championship. Because then you can re-enter them and keep it going and keep it fresh. If the open class ever gets to that point, we might add a championship, but that's the biggest deterrent for me right now to not have it just yet. Um, Mostly because it takes up resources and takes up maintenance. Um, yeah, which is also why like 132 that many. That's why we have 4 classes that run in that championship, whereas like Carrera 124, if we uncheck 132, there aren't nearly as many in there, and so we don't need as many classes because we don't need to. So we're going to open those up a little bit more too. Um, but yeah, that's sort of how our reasoning is. And granted, with MR, Slot R, NSR, Scale Auto, that sort of thing, we don't have many entries in those either. Um, yeah, so that one's the next on our list. And I think Slot It is one we're looking at too. There's more Slot It's. But yeah, we're looking to do it. If we get more participation, I'll certainly consider it. But right now, I think what makes the most sense is to use the leaderboard for it because there's not, yeah. And if we ever did do an open championship, it would be any brand, any racing class. Like so, it would be all cars with whatever mods you ever wanted. So it would be truly open. Like whatever car you have that is in our database, no matter what you've done to it, you put it on the track and you roll. The other trouble with that is that the whole point of this is to try to stay away from what they call in video games is pay to win. Um, and a faster and faster and faster and faster motor, faster and faster and faster, gear axles and all that stuff will eventually um, lead to a pay to win that championship. So I'd much rather just sort of measure them. Those are my thoughts. I'm open to being convinced otherwise, but yeah, I go back and forth about that. That's good, Warren. Talking about the Carrera, the NASCARs, I definitely want to I definitely want to run them more. I think we're gonna do. What do you guys think? Should I do what car should I do? Let's do a GT, modern GT submission for this week's championship. We're gonna run my Corvette. It's my fastest. It's not the best I have to drive, but yeah. So we'll switch over here. Let me know if you guys even care about this part. I'm betting you don't, but I just kind of switch that screen so you're not looking at the back of my head. But let's find this one. The Corvette. Let's clean some tires, code the car. I'll run a few warm-up laps. Those tires are rough shape. Helps if you start the free practice, Pete. 3, 2, 1. Let's see, what about classic GT and prototype cars for 124? Yeah, I think I am going to lump them all together. We'll just do 2, just because there's so few. I'm convinced if you beat me over the head with it enough times, I'll do it. This car, as you can tell, a little bit noisier. Now, let's slow this one down because we were using it the other night. So we're going to crank that back up and see if we can control this. Nope, I sure can't. God bless it. That's why I shouldn't go to the tablet screen, because I always forget to put it to the screen. This one needs a little more gentle warm up. She might need some braid juice. Let's see. She's definitely faster than this. I don't even have on my track record. I don't remember if this one or the Formula One has the track record. It's definitely not going to get the job done. Let's see what kind of lap times I can get with the less loud one, because there are 2 ladies sleeping upstairs, and I guarantee you they can hear that thing. So we're going to try this Audi. This is a little more, she's a little quieter. And although now I see the front tire on this thing is cracked. It's probably from the madness that happened at Dan Curry's house, I guess a little over a week ago. A lot of crashing that day. A lot of mayhem. But it's also a Carrera tire and could just have dried out and split. Let's see, what do I usually run at this one? 87? That sounds right. She's a little quieter. Get that update. Did it go? Maybe because it was the same speed, it didn't need to go. Nope, didn't like that corner. And it's like no man's land that I can't hardly reach from anywhere. There's somebody moving upstairs, probably about to get yelled at. All right, let's see. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. I ain't gonna cut it. Let's get these braids right. Let's do a little magic simple green on there. Rubber seems a little thin. Yeah, that's the one that I know I ran a ton of laps on it when we were first testing this thing. I assume you're talking about the C7. But yeah, it was. It's the one that I ran a bunch of test laps on because it was like my fastest car. So we were trying to do our fastest cars. And I sent it to Mike to test, and I know he ran a bunch of laps on it. And those tires have certainly seen better days. But it's still fast as you know what, boy. Just that corner. That corner, I am not used to it. Not used to it coming off right there. It like slides all the way around. Let's just do this. Just for shits and giggles. Let's bump it down one and see if I'm actually completing a lap. Yeah, so I'm almost faster than that Corvette. They're quite a bit slower, so if I had the patience to actually drive it well, I could probably do it even better. So let's get a submission in for this one. What's up, Fox and Wolves? Fox and or Wolves. Or I guess Wolves and or Fox. One of you guys, both of you guys. Last week of this championship, bring out your fastest GT3 and let's go hunting. Dark Knight is making his first appearance. I assume that's your safety car. Your blacked out C8 safety car. Why does all the magic take place off camera? It's this rag I showed you. All right, let's do this. Make sure I got it on the right screen. Make sure we're good to go, and let's get a submission in. Wait, now let's get a submission in.
3, 2, 1, go!
I know she can go faster, but that one corner is giving me trouble. I'm not in the frame of mind to pay enough attention. Or just do that. I could just talk my way right into bending it off the edge. Let's bring that around. Clean some tires. Do the secret magic on screen for Mike this time. All right. This magic now on screen is just mailing labels upside down. That's what I use instead of a lint roller. Got that trick from Joe's trip to the wood track, his new wood track friends. He showed me a video of him there, and I was like, what the heck is that thing? He told me, and then I built one. Jury's still out on if it's better or not. But yeah. All right. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay, I squirted it on the rag, and then I just put a little on the tires, kind of like that. Just get them a little damp, softens them up. Probably not good for the tires long term, but it happens. We'll start that race. Got it on the right screen over there, and let's go.
3, 2, 1, go!
Might have gotten them a little too wet because it was a little slippery on that first one, but they've dried out now. So glad you guys joined me so I can show you myself crashing over and over again. Get the smooth car, he said. Get the one that's super easy to drive. That's unfortunately the dirtiest part on my track too. When I'm rubbing on the tires, saw somebody ask that. It's simple green, squirted on a rag that I just rub on there. I don't usually do it every single time. But, you know, like many things in the slot car hobby, and like baseball and everything else, it's sort of like habit, routine, superstition. I have no idea if it actually softens it up, but I heard somebody say at some point when I told them I use simple green, they're like, "Oh yeah, that softens the rubber up," and I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense," and now I do it. So, like many things. But yeah, well, we got to 3 laps that time, so that's cool. We're gonna give this one more shot, and then I'm not gonna put you through any more suffering.
3,
Just to get a dang time in.
1, go!
Whoa, I felt that one. That was a close one. Two laps left. Last lap. Amazing when you just slow down just a touch. Just a touch. All right. You guys can see that. Fastest lap, 5.165. We don't need that for SlotSync, but it usually gives me a good indication of how I did. 1 minute, 2 seconds, 0.940 for my total driving time. That's the main time that we're entering in the system. And then when we scroll down here, you're looking for that last lap, 5.216. So I'm going to scroll back up here. We're going to switch over to SlotSync. And how I got back over here. I'm sure we were talking about something. We're going to add a new race result. Show me Speedway. 132. That is the, I think I have it called Red Square Audi because it has a red diamond square thing on the top. You pick the nickname. You pick it to help you remember which one. And that one will forever be known as the Red Square Audi, even though it's not a square. It's a diamond. 02940. 02940. And then the last lap was 05216. 05216. Submit that result. Not fast enough to do leaderboard. Yeah, I know. I had to slow down just to keep it in there. It is qualifies for the Modern GT event. And we're going to look here. John Tucci and Slot Cars Anonymous. Hip Hop Anonymous. Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Albert County Park. Somebody tell me who that is. If you know him. It's a very good name if you wanted to stay anonymous because it's working. We got to refresh this page so we can see where we stand. 4 and 2. So yeah, it updated here, and then it will also update here. So Mike hasn't done any submissions for week 4, and I'm still 2 points behind him for the month. So that's fun. We don't know who this Mr. Anonymous is. We don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I can probably look and maybe determine based on his submission form, but I don't want to do that here on live TV, as they say, because if he wants to stay anonymous, that will not make him anonymous anymore. Kentucky Spitshine, yeah. It's Show Me Spitshine. Is green, comes in a bottle. No, Joe's giveaway was not Jen. It was a Revo slot car. Who was his sponsor? I can look, but I'm not going to look. Well, I guess, yeah, I can keep the screen off and look and see. I can see who his sponsor is. Wait, can I? I'll give you one guess. I'll give you one guess, Big Oak. Don't even need to say it out loud. Um, I'm sure he knows. Oh, he's going to be looking at your brake lights, huh? Oh, man. MB, the trash talk. I love it. But it's intense. It's intense. You're like making me want to like. I'm not that kind of guy either. But yeah. Cool. I don't know. Should I do one more? Are you guys done? Let's see. I've been on almost exactly an hour. The only two I have. Oh, I could do a 124 because I'm not going to take it apart this time on live TV and make you guys watch me put it back together for 45 minutes. Let's do that. Let's do 124. Let's switch here. Let's switch here. Bring this car around. Maybe start that.
3, 2.
How many laps does he have to run? I don't know. I don't. You're better at finding that than I am. I can look up his track. Let's bump up the voltage. Preset number 2, 18 volts. We're good there. We're going to change the car to whatever that beast is called. Ford Capri Zach Speed. I did not clean those tires, and I know they're filthy because for whatever reason, these 124 tires just shed rubber. They just shed rubber. This one, Warren, I got from Warren. Thanks, Warren. I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but thank you, sir. You hooked me up with this one and hooked up, you shipped it to me after I paid you for it. But still appreciate it. I love that you ship from the U.S. so they're real quick. Anybody down in the U.S., he makes trips across the border every once in a while, so he ships them straight from Professor Motor, which is super cool. Yeah, it's like best of both worlds. Warren's the man, and he's got a bunch of cars, so look him up. One more car. We're gonna do this one. Let's do a few. Oh, that's a great start. It's a great start, Pete. You're right on the dead spot. A little tricky because I don't have full shoulders, so right in that corner, I hit the actual gravel. I am on the gravel pit. It is glued down, but it's still getting knocked loose by this car and the other car. Whoa! Those are some pretty garbage times, but that's how I roll with this size car. So, yeah, we're gonna do it. Let's do a race. 12 laps. Same laps for 124 and 132. It's an arbitrary number. It's just the one that we use to compare everybody, and it kind of hit a sweet spot where you're right around a minute, so it's not too long, it's not too short. But yeah, same amount of laps no matter what scale, no matter what brand you're running. So we'll get this race started. Everybody can see that. Warren shooting me some cars out last Wednesday or Thursday. I had them on Saturday. Yeah, it's insane. It's like 2 days. Yeah, super good guy. He hooks you up. He takes care of you. But yeah, here we go. Watch the mayhem slip sliding all over this place. This one doesn't get the magic juice.
1, go.
Red flag.
Oh, jump start it. Cool. Jump start when I'm by myself and I'm doing a rolling start, so it doesn't really matter.
1,
A little anxious.
Fastest lap.
Whoa. That's kind of why I like these cars, though, because it's kind of like Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Fastest lap.
He slides out, but he can almost always make it back. You really got to bin it to get it to completely come off. I know I'm not going fast when that happens, but it just makes for a more fun race when you don't have to stop. I need a lot more practice with these guys. Obviously need some more laps too. I need to get a bob like Mike has
25 laps left.
and just make Bob break in on my motors. That was a bad turn.
Fastest lap agency.
I love when I'm racing by myself and Smart Race updates that Pete C is in the lead. Like, oh, thanks.
Fastest lap agency. 22 laps left. Attention, only 1 lap left. Fastest lap agency. PC has won the race.
Not great, Bob, but it'll do. I always say that, and then I actually look at the. I submit it, and it's fine. It's not breaking any records, but it's fine. Which is maybe why I also like these as much. So yeah, I just scrolled right past that. 121.315 total driving time. Last lap is 6.640. So let's switch over here. Let's add a new race result. So I am on, just to show you, it doesn't really matter which championship where you're on here. If you just hit add new race result, it's going to take it. And it'll put it in the right spot. So you can't really mess that up. The endurance races are very specific. You have to enter the right car on the right thing. Otherwise, it won't work. Well, it won't let you pick the car. Anyway. What did I say is that total race time? I said it's 1:21.315. 0:121.315. 0:121.315. And the last lap is 0.6640. 0.6640. Let's see what happens. Congratulations! It just means it qualified. That's all. It's a little aggressive. But I want everybody to feel good. Feel good about what they're doing. Oh, yes! First place for Group 5. I'm the only one. I'll take it, though. I can always say, there was this time where I won a 124 race. Where I was leading a 124 race, I guess. Yeah, my magnets. Yeah, don't be, Mike. Don't be telling me to check my magnets. That's what happened last time when I started taking the dang thing apart, and that's when I just had parts everywhere and couldn't get anything in the right spot, and I was doing all kinds of stuff wrong, so wrong. But yeah, the magnets are in the right spot. After all that, they are in the right spot. I just need to practice, and like the tires aren't anywhere near flat, just because they're stock. Like I can see where it's rubbing, but they're rubbing enough. Probably won't be able to see it, but they're rubbing. Yeah, you can kind of see it on this one. That smooth spot. That's where it's hitting most of the time. So they're definitely rubbing, which is I am liking because they're kind of we'll see, but they're kind of truing themselves because I don't have the pulley for the tire truer, and to be honest, I don't really want to mess with it on these because I don't know why, but I'm more nervous about it. More crap on there. Should probably use a simple green just to clean it. On the 132s, basically like the first, I don't know. I mean, I've been in the hobby now a little over 2 years, I think, 3 years, regularly buying them. Well, in this scale. And the first 6 or 8 months, probably like 10 cars I bought, no problems with the magnets. They're all the right way. But at some point over the last like year and a half, all the 132s are now getting shipped the other way around. Um, but with that said, neither of my 124s are in there the wrong way. Of course, now I say that. Yeah. They both came the right way around. And this is the one I took apart last week while I was live streaming. And then I had parts everywhere and didn't want to stop in the middle of it because I didn't think I could remember where the parts went unless I just did it right there. And so you guys stuck around with me and watched me muscle through putting it back together. And then I did it wrong still. So I just set it aside and we ran this one. Yeah, a lot of magnets. A lot of the new magnets, the new cars are shipping. I think all of them, at least to the US, are all shipping magnets upside down. And it's something to do with child safety or something like that. That's what I've heard, at least. Which makes sense, in the US. One kid chokes or magnet gets caught on something, then sue the shit out of the company, and then the company's like, fine, we'll change this. And then, yeah, and then we all switch them back anyway. But at least they can't get sued. All part of that. Do my slot invasion guides fit in the 124s too? I bought a bunch of extras when I bought the last batch. Should I try this one with one of those? Take the magenta, the magnet completely out of the car? No, I did not take it completely out of the car. Well, I mean, I did, but then I put it back in. So, I got a bunch of Carrera guides if anybody wants or needs any. I'm switching everything to slot invasion. I've heard a rumor that doesn't do any good, but I like them. And they definitely don't get, like some of my older ones, I don't think I have any of them here, but they wear down so much faster than they're like a tiny little thin blade, and then they don't whack the reset thing on the lane changers. So then you get like ghost lane changes, or just changes randomly on you. Magnet pulled somebody's piercing out. Yeah, you probably that actually might not be far off. I was thinking that, or like pacemaker or something like that. I mean, I think it's silly because they're still pretty strong, even when you have the spacer on the bottom. So we can tell on the track, but like, is it really that much safer? So who knows? Maybe that's a rumor. Maybe there's just people getting upset about it and blaming big government. Maybe there's truth to it. Who knows? They're listening to me right now, so they'll probably have FBI knocking on my door tomorrow. Say, hey, it wasn't us. ship me off to Alligator Alcatraz. I didn't say that. It wasn't me. I thought I had this turn off. Your earrings aren't magnetic. But you have it okay out of the tray. There's a plastic shim in the tray. Yeah, the shim was on the top. It was plastic shim, metal shim, magnet. In that order, top to bottom. When I had it upside down, it was flip flopped, but yeah. Yeah, it was the right order. All right, I'm gonna do one more and then we're gonna call it. Because that would be like hour and 15, hour and 20, something like that. So I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do this other 124 car and we'll roll from there. So let's I want to switch to this screen so I don't forget to switch to it. But let's go to free practice, confirm, assign. We'll switch to the Big Mama Porsche. I want to get that Skechers Audi, the Valentino Rossi one. I like that one. Now I'm getting hooked on these 124s, and I said I never would, but you know, it is what it is. They're a lot more fun when you get the right voltage to the track. I will tell you that. I'm just gonna warm her up. Not that she goes fast enough that I take advantage of getting warmed up. But get the feel for her. I just love how cool they look. How big they are. I was really worried that like my scenery was gonna look weird with them. The people will, but like, oh, they're just so freaking cool. They're so detailed. It looks like I'm playing with like the old die-cast models. You know, you grew up collecting. Whoop! As I'm gonna bring it around, probably gonna get in trouble for that. That was awfully loud. All right. Roll it on this magic thing, which is just shipping labels upside down. But yeah, you see what I'm saying here? I'll show you. Like, this wasn't perfectly clean, but all those black streaks on there, I don't know if you can be able to see them. Those are all from this car. So it is, I don't know, maybe it's picking up the rubber laid down on the track. Maybe they're just like shredding and breaking in. I've never seen that with any of my 132 cars. Them get that dirty right out of the box, but who knows? M4, yeah. Yeah, the Audi one is the one I saw. I don't think I've ever seen the M4 in person. Actually, no, I saw the M4 in person, and if you've known me for any length of time, you know that this little 132 M4 is my least favorite car, and yeah, it just sits down here and stays away from my track. So I have a bias against them. It's completely unfounded, but let's do a race. Make sure my screen's right. Yep, we're good there. 12 laps. Confirm. Start.
3, 2, 1, go.
What was that all about? I'll just press on. Yeah, the wing hits that wall right there. And so you probably can't see now, but when I'm done, I'll show you. It pops out of its little socket, and then it looks all wonky. It looks like the car's got like a broken leg or a dislocated hip or something. It's all crooked. Man, I'm good at hitting that wall. Whoa. I'm like popping out of this slot. I need to slow down on that corner.
Only 2 laps left.
Whoa.
Attention, only 1 lap left.
Probably that gravel stuck to the tires.
PT has won the race.
Whoa, yikes. All right, let's switch over here so you guys can see this. It's on the up and up. Oh, that was faster than the Group 5. Certainly did not feel faster. 1 minute, 19 seconds, 0.329. 0.119.329. And then the last lap was 6.625. All right, let's switch over here. We'll get this last entry in there. And then I'm going to call it a night. Show me Speedway. 124 cars. Big Porsche. 0119 329 329. And then I think that's 6.62506. Whoops. 625. Submit result. Whoa, that was my fastest submission for that one. So that's what you get up top when it's fast enough to go on the leaderboard, which is cool because then I'll show you what that looks like on the leaderboard when it's the new fastest. And it qualifies for the event. Let's see how we did. Let's refresh this page. I don't like that it does that, so I'll try to fix that so it automatically refreshes. Since I've done both of them, I'm in first place in 124 magnets. But it's really only because I've submitted both of those. But Raul's time on that Modern GT was a quicker. Holy crap, quicker by a whole lot. Oh yeah, that's the one he was. Was that one of the ones he was doing live the other night that I was watching? I thought he was running 132s, but maybe my eyes are just bad. But yeah. Over on the leaderboard, just real quick, you'll see what it looks like. We'll filter it so we can actually find it because it's going to be way down. But you get that green arrow. That means that is a new time for this car, and it beat the last time that I had in there. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's all I got for tonight, guys. You know, Mike, of all that you ask enough times for the junkyard, I may send that one to you because I just want you to prove me wrong that it's not a piece of garbage and it's user error. But anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Thanks everybody for coming. It was super last minute as usual. One of these days I'll narrow down an actual day. I know my wife will appreciate that to actually go live. I was hoping to do SlotSync Sundays, but Sunday nights are just so unpredictable. So unpredictable in this house. And last night it was Packers game, so I had to watch Packers. Go Paco. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. We'll narrow down a day, and I'll hopefully be able to do this on the weeks I'm not traveling for work. I'll do it once a week, and then I'll be able to share updates to the website. I'll be able to answer questions, and then we'll do some submissions. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming, and we'll talk to you soon.